Hi, greetings from Panama. It's Janine here.
And Paul, hi.
Hey, we're super excited because this is our first tower garden in our own home, our new home that we built here in Puerto Armuelles, Panama. And boy, do we love that sound, Paul. What just came on?
Yeah, that's actually the tower water circulating, which is wonderful.
We love it. It's like balm to our souls. So this is our first tower garden in our new home, and we're super lucky that we can have it indoors in our kitchen. Here in Panama, we have both an indoor and an outdoor kitchen. Our cooking is mostly done outdoors, and so we have enough space in here to have our tower garden, which is awesome. We grow cool weather crops like salad stuff in here. And we're also excited. This is our first time having really cool exotic tropical Panama plants, including our very first heliconia blossom. And they're a really beautiful species of heliconia called Mila. They're very popular here in Panama. But today we want to tell you about the tower garden and how we got it started, and then we'll show you what we've got growing today. So, Paul, you want to tell them a little bit about our growing system here?
Yeah, so this is where we start our seeds. We have a box over to keep in darkness, and there's a warming mat that is on a timer. And currently, I think we have cilantro in there, is that correct?
Yep, so everything has sprouted. This is where we germinate. Everything has germinated and been moved over to the base of the tower, except cilantro. We have not yet been successful with cilantro, so we're trying a new method where you crack the seed husks and soak them, and we'll see if we get cilantro. It may be that that's something we're just better off growing outdoors, but this is following Joe D's seed starting procedures from the Tower Garden User Exchange. You can find that on there, or you can find a description of it on our Grow Strong page. This is the exciting part, is all these ones that are circled have germinated, and once there's any sign of growth, we move them over to the tower garden. So we're going to show you now what we've got moved over and what was big enough to actually go in the tower garden. We'll tell you more about that. So over here is where we bring the plants that are germinated and are ready to be exposed to light, and then eventually are ready to go in the tower, and we'll tell you a little about that. They stay in darkness until they have their first signs of growth. As soon as there's any sign of growth, we bring them over here. Like you can see, here's a lettuce that was a slow starter, but it has growth, so we brought it out here to get light. That's a red butterhead that just started late. Once they get to be big enough that they have true leaves, not just the seed leaves, but true leaves and roots, they go in the tower. So that's what all these are. And these have just been in the tower for about a day. What would you say about them since they've been in there?
Yeah, they've noticeably grown in a day.
It's fast. Once they get into full nutrients, they grow quickly. So in the tower is full strength nutrients. And by the way, we should mention, this is our second tower garden in Panama. Our first tower garden in Panama was in our rental house. And what would you say about the success of that season?
Oh, it's amazing. An abundance of vegetables, and the flavor and the amount of crispness was incredible. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. It was the best.
So we think there's probably two factors that had to do with that. One of which was it's much more humid here in here in Panama than it was in Colorado. And the other factor that is likely or possibly part of why we had better success is we can't ship the liquid tower tonic to Panama, so we switched to a powder nutrient, Jax A plus B, and we really like this nutrient system. And so that's probably the other factor, or possibly. We can't really know, because two things changed, our climate and also our food. But we love both. The humidity and the food, we think, combine to a really great season. So these are the ones that are ready to go in. They've been in for a day. Here's one like them that we saved so we could show you. And this is how you tell. This is kale, and there's an example of a true leaf. You can see it's got the little jaggedy kale edges on it. And also, it has pretty prolific roots coming out the bottom. So this is ready to go in. We're gonna go ahead and put it in the port gently so the roots go down. And get them down. And let's see which is the best angle. Yeah, maybe like this. Get it in there. It doesn't really matter because eventually they're going to grow like nuts no matter what you do. I should mention that on our cole and on our arugula, we don't usually thin them very much. We let them grow pretty heavy. Other crops that are head lettuces, we thin down pretty much. But so we've got a labeling system that Paul's going to tell you about.
Yeah, we've modified it somewhat since coming to Panama. We now have our label in English and Spanish as well. So here you see we have kale and col rosada.
Yeah, so it's really nice because with Panamanian friends and neighbors or other expats like us who are trying to learn Spanish, we can tell them the names in Spanish. That way, if they're trying to look for them somewhere or they want to ask us, they have the names. So, for example, arugula is rúcula, spinach is espinaca, and for example, basil is albahaca limon. So this is lemon basil. So those are just a few to give you examples. We've got one more that's ready to go in today. It's a sage. This will be a very, very abundant producer. And Paul and I have discovered that we actually really like sage leaves in our salad. And we also use it to season foods. So the sage is going to go around the back, Paul, so I'm going to pass it in front of you there. Okay?
Yep. Yep.
Sage is back here. And in Spanish, sage is salvia. So there we go. And so for now, those are the ones that we have that have enough top growth and enough root growth to go in. I'll tell you what else we've got coming. The way we do it is we keep track on this lid of the date. Everything showed its first growth. And then over here, we keep track of the date that we put it under the light. And I still need to update that yesterday or today, the ones that were ready to go in the tower. We're super excited. There's a couple things that we didn't plan on initially. We took a couple of limon seeds, which are the Panamanian version of a lemon lime, and just for fun, I sprouted them, and we've got 2 little limon seedlings. So since our cilantro has not come up at all yet, we're going to start our little limon tree seedlings inside, and then we will eventually acclimate them to the heat and transplant them outside. We're actually optimistic of being able to have limon trees in our yard. We use limones all the time. Basically a cross between a lemon and lime, or just a lemon. But so aside from that, I think probably the next to be ready are going to be our flat leaf Italian parsley. Our radicchio is coming soon, and you can see the radicchio starting to get red. That's really close. It's got a tiny little bit of roots, but I'm going to give it a little more time. This one started a little more slowly, so those will come soon.
Janine, did you want to mention what the solution is that's in the tray there?
Sure. So when we put the seedlings in the tray, they are just pH balanced water, same as in the germination tray. But every other day, we put half pH balanced water and half full strength nutrients, in essence making this half strength nutrients. But that's only every other day. On the second day, we go back just to pH balanced water, and what that does is when there's a day that you have something new to go in that's very small, you have a chance to give it a day in there before it has to acclimate to nutrients. It's a nice system. That's something that we got from Joe D's seed starting procedures. We've also got spinach that's going to be ready soon. We stratify our spinach in the refrigerator, so it's always a little bit of a slow starter. It needs to be tricked into believing it had a winter, which is not easy here in Panama. We definitely grow spinach only indoors here because it is not a Panamanian variety of spinach. They have that, but it's tougher. So anyways, we've got chives coming, red lettuce, radicchio, flat leaf parsley, spinach, and then the 2 limones. And then we'll see about the cilantro. If we're not successful with that, we'll just plant something else. So we're excited. This is our first tower garden in our own home here in Puerto Armuelles, Panama. And, we'll check back pretty often.
Hey Janine, one thing I notice is missing that I absolutely love are the hot peppers, which we always just enjoyed in our salads.
Yeah.
Can you mention a little bit
So,
about that?
yeah, we did grow hot peppers in our indoor tower down in our rental house for 6 months, and we were very successful. We had habaneros, Jamaican reds, and then a moderately hot pepper, a poblano. Many people told us we'd never be successful with the Jamaican reds, but that's not true. We've grown them several times indoors. And we had peppers coming out our ears. As a matter of fact, we still have dried peppers that I dehydrated in our little portable oven dehydrator. We grew them indoors. They got to be about 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
Actually, this tower was the last thing at the rental house before we moved because we didn't want to lose the peppers. Everything else was finished, and we still had these 3 pepper plants that were just like crazy. And so this time, we did not plant peppers indoors. We can grow peppers outdoors here. And since salad greens are not easy to grow or to buy in Panama, we decided to focus more on salad indoors. We will definitely be growing hot peppers. Paul won't be happy if he doesn't
Yeah.
have them. And I really love them too. So, but we'll be growing them outdoors. And that benefits us in that they don't take up as much food and water because they're a big plant and the big fruits take a lot of water and nutrition. But so that's one thing that's different. More focus on salad and herbs this time.
Yeah.
Now that we're living in our own home, we can plant gardens outdoors. We'll make a nice little raised bed or have, some patio gardens. When will we check back next, you think, Paul?
Oh, maybe a week or so?
Yeah. We'll let you know when we've got the rest of the seedlings in, and you can see the growth maybe after a week, and maybe by then we might know something about the cilantro. We may decide that cilantro's not happening indoors. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've ever grown cilantro indoors. I think we grew it outdoors once.
Yeah, I don't remember us
in
growing
Colorado.
it indoors at all.
So that's it. This is our first tower garden in our own home in Puerto Armuelles, Panama.
Yeah, and we're excited. My motto in Panama is every day there's always something new under the sun. And this happens with the tower garden too. So we learn as we go and we see new things and, we just go with the flow. That's basically it in Panama. So.
And not to mention every single day you come out here and look at it and it's changed substantially. The growth is very fast. So we're excited. Take care and we can't wait to share more of our tower gardening season with you.
See ya.
Bye.